Welcome to the Troll Patrol, live, and we are coming on the air with breaking news. I just found out, as I'm sitting down getting ready, there are just some people in the world that when you hear bad news, you hope it wasn't them. Stephen Miller, though, is not one of those people. I don't even think his family likes the motherfucker. If I remember correctly, his parents came out against him and said he's a little fucking monster. Somebody in his family did. I think it was his parents, though. But Stephen Miller, the senior advisor to President Trump, has tested positive for COVID. Because of course he did. And we're waiting. We watched some video last night, but after I got off the stream, there was some reporter video from the other side where you could visibly see Trump gasping for air. Claudia Conway says they're lying to us, that he's not doing well at all. So, I think this is a good time to unveil our newest segment.
Trump dies of COVID watch.
It could happen any minute now. Now, I'm not saying that I would relish the opportunity to be able to report to my freaking followers the sad, sad news that Donald Trump passed away from a deadly virus that he could have 100% prevented. That he could have prevented tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people from getting it in this country. He could have absolutely prevented himself from getting it. I'm not saying that I will relish in that opportunity, but I did spend quite a bit of time
Trump dies of COVID watch.
making a graphic for it. And I'm not saying I'm amused by hearing that Stephen Miller has COVID. Now, I know I usually do reefer and a rant, but I'm just kind of not in a ranting mood right now. One of the main phrases I've heard to use to describe Stephen Miller has been ghoul. He's a ghoul. Holy fuck. What a week it's been. And we got the vice presidential debate tomorrow night. We're going to be live streaming that. That's going to be a hell of a time. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit more organized than the last debate that we watched together. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And I'm also not saying that news earlier today that Trump is decided to halt talks on another stimulus package until after the election made me go, well, fuck that motherfucker. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying there was a seething hatred going through me as I was making that graphic. I'm just speaking the truth. If you guys remember, for weeks now, I've been saying it's like the motherfucker is trying to give himself the COVID. I meant to do it earlier. But I'm looking for... Here we go. Claudia Conway arguing with her mom. Oh, this is about the dog. Now, I wanted to... Shit, this was the wrong one. Apparently, she says she's dying of the COVID. Now, let's look within the past 24 hours here. I want to, She said he's not in very good health. But that might have been on TikTok. Guys, laughing my ass off. He's not doing better. It didn't look like he was doing better last night. So, according to Claudia Conway, who is as good a source as any, because fuck, we can't trust his doctors. We might be like watching, you know, For This anytime.
Trump dies of COVID watch.
I spent a lot of time on it, so I'm going to get as much use out of it, because if he is going to die, it's going to happen like in the next week or two. So I want to get as much use out of it as I can. He still says he's going to go on with the debate in person next week. I think it's next Thursday. I need to check the date. A lot of people thought the vice presidential debate was tonight. It's not. It's tomorrow. I believe the next debate is next Thursday. And then the final debate is on a Tuesday, the 22nd, I believe. No, the 22nd is a Thursday, so I don't know. I'll find out when the next debate is. I'll be live streaming it whenever the fuck it is. I just know that Kamala Harris is going to demolish Mike Pence tomorrow, and I'm here for it. Not even a fan of hers, but I'm a fan of any strong black woman that's going to emasculate Mike fucking Pence. I had breakfast for dinner last night after I got off the air. So, if you guys joined me the other night, we played the clip of...
Imagine if we had access to what he...
We played the clip of Ted Cruz arguing with Chris Cuomo. That was one of the first times I had ever seen Chris Cuomo. I wasn't familiar with him. So here's another clip of him, and like, I kind of like the guy. He's got some balls. That's cool.
He had access to that he ignores, that he abuses. Life would be totally different. He didn't just walk into the White House one time with no mask tonight. He had his video crew capture that stupid scene again so he could put out propaganda, fronting a lie to his people. Once again, just like, don't worry about the mask. Now he says, don't worry about COVID. Don't let it control your life. It's just propaganda.
It is.
That's all it is. I know this sound to it. I'm not going to play it for you. Why should I? How much bullshit do you need in your life? Don't let COVID control your life. Nobody wants it to control their life. They don't have any choice because you're not setting up communities with the testing that you take for granted.
We gotta sit over here and
a
sip
hospital
this tea?
suite and 24-hour care and experimental drugs and all the best of everything all the time. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have it. I'm saying you should. Isn't that his damn job, is to kill himself? You know he loves to work. Then do the work. A leader, A leader would go. A leader would go and do everything you're not supposed to do and force people into places where they can get sick. We've never had anyone get sick. Yeah, tell it to the people in the Rose Garden, the only place we can reasonably contact trace. Who the hell knows who's at his rallies? How are you going to find them? You think they're going to come forward and say, I got sick at a Trump rally? He takes off his mask while he's still infected, like that's some show of strength. It's as weak as it gets. Of course you should be afraid of COVID. It's killed more than 210,000 of us. Don't be afraid of COVID. 10,000 have died in the last 13 days. Don't be afraid of COVID. It just took down the most powerful and protected person in the world. He had to go to the hospital. His continued recklessness makes it impossible to be sympathetic. I feel for his wife. I don't even know how she's doing.
I don't feel for her, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. There's some more leaked audio come out of Melania. This is a fun one, though. We'll cover that here in a little bit. He did rip off the mask. It's not about being scared or afraid of COVID. It's about respecting it and showing it the you do risk analysis. And you understand what you're up against. So, Washington, D.C. has reported the highest single-day rise in coronavirus cases since June. And I'm assuming that most of them are in the goddamn White House. By the way, the phone lines are open, 917-830-4359. Call in and argue with me. I sent a message to a dude just before we went on the air. I saw him trolling a local news site the other night. And he said something about how the left will never debate unedited, uncensored. I'm like, that's exactly what I do. You should call in and talk with us. Yes, call me and tell me I'm stupid. Fucking Trump is responsible for most of the cases in D.C. As they were talking about that Rose Garden event where we live streamed it, the Amy Coney Barrett thing. We were watching people infect other people live as it happened. There was a woman that had a face shield on. I saw a meme that said she doesn't regret her life decisions. Fuck. All completely preventable. All of this. 100%. All of it preventable. But hey, right-wingers are morons. And for some reason, somebody put them in charge. And I have no clue. I didn't vote for them. Fuck. And no, I didn't vote for any of the right-wingers in the Democratic Party either. Fuck them too. Give to Nancy Pelosi's challenger. Get fucking Pelosi out of there. God. But Melania, the First Lady, also has COVID. She said she's feeling better today, but who fucking knows? So here, this is from the Mea Culpa podcast. I guess they had the exclusive audio here.
If you go Google and read it. And Annie Leibovitz shot the porn hooker, and she will be one of the issues September or October.
What do you mean she shot the porn hooker?
Stormy.
Shut the fuck up. For what?
Oh, you didn't read it? Yeah, it was yesterday.
The porn hooker.
She will be in Vogue. Annie Leibovitz shot her. If you go Google and read it. And Annie Leibovitz shot the porn hooker, and she will be one of the issues September or October.
What do you mean she shot the porn hooker?
Stormy.
Shut the fuck up. For what?
Oh, you didn't.
Hold on. She did say fuck Christmas. I mean, I halfway agree. Oh, that's why I couldn't find the pictures I was looking for. The adult filter was on. I was like, this woman is wanting to call somebody a porn hooker. I'm trying to find one that's decent enough for me to show that it won't get me a mature thing on YouTube, but I don't see it. I would have took the one where she's in the silver suit. I am a porn hooker. There's not. Let me make something perfectly clear. There is nothing wrong with being a porn hooker. The craziest thing I find about this audio is that this woman absolutely has posed naked several times. Who's she calling a porn hooker? Oh, here we go. This woman is going to call somebody a porn hooker. I don't get it. But hell, pointing out hypocrisy with the right wingers, I mean, what the fuck is it going to do? They don't care. They don't have shame. Greeking for porn hookers? Who's Greeking? But in order for us to get anywhere by pointing out hypocrisy, you know, they have to have some fucking shame or self-awareness. I don't think they have either. I would love to have one call in and talk with us. 917-830-4359. Last night, I kept up my trend of pointing out Senate races that we should all be paying attention to and we should all donate to if we have the money. This piece came out this afternoon in The Hill about Susan Collins and Sarah Gideon, that they are virtually tied in Maine. Susan Collins is one of the votes that they probably won't be able to count on for Amy Coney Barrett because of this race, for it being that tight. But that's one of the reasons why they're probably going to be able to get her through in the lame duck session. But Lindsey Graham, as we went over last night, Lindsey Graham went ahead and scheduled the hearings. They're going to try to ram her through before the election. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, we're still seeing Republicans go down with the fucking coronavirus. Stephen fucking Miller. God knows how many people Stephen Miller has infected. Oh, when you said Shaggy, you meant from like Scooby-Doo. I thought like it wasn't me. I didn't know. I was thinking about the 90s rapper. It didn't make sense to me there for a second. 917-830-4359. Jason really likes it when the Steve Miller. This is a different Steve Miller. This is not Keep On a Rockin' Me Baby. By the way, rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen. I would have liked to have played on the real radio. I had an intro that I used for my freak show, and I had a Van Halen song under it, but I'm afraid I'll get a copyright. I would have really liked to play that as like a tribute, but if you go to my Patreon, I shared it out on Patreon a little while ago. You can go listen to that piece. Big Van Halen fan. I was really hoping that David Lee Roth that Sammy Hagar would get together with them and do a whole tour. I guess that can never happen now. I assume he was a smoker. So in my home state of Louisville, right, in my home state of Louisville is not a state. In my home state of Kentucky, been a whole lot of shit going down in Louisville.
Hey guys, not sure if you've heard this.
I haven't heard it. We're not going to hear it now, motherfucker.
Or not,
Look at that
but
pretty.
if you
Hey,
do
no!
not
I
have
said
a
no.
speeding
Turn you off. Yeah. I dare you to start again. Okay, so felony riot charges against a state representative, Attica Scott. She was at the protests. She was facing a more severe charge than anyone that killed Breonna Taylor. Now, we haven't shown a picture of Representative Scott, but I bet you guys could probably guess what she looks like. They were trying to charge her with felony riot charges. Now, thankfully, they have dropped those charges. I can't believe this was weeks ago. They charged her weeks ago. A state representative. And they had these charges pending against her for weeks. Now, tell me that's not a tactic of political intimidation. Everything about this case is wrong. And I would like to point you guys to Vice News, who did a fantastic piece.
It's about the National Guard's presence at the Kentucky.
As we talked about, when the grand jury proceedings got released, there's like 20 hours of shit to go through. So Vice did all that shit over the weekend, and we're gonna watch a couple pieces of it. But I highly recommend. They did a whole episode on it. It's up on YouTube. They posted it yesterday. Go watch that shit. Everything about this, from top to bottom, is wrong. The SWAT team thought there was something wrong with it. The postal inspector said they lied to obtain a warrant. These cops were all sloppy as fuck. And here's one of the crazy parts that they revealed at the beginning of this documentary. They thought she was in there with a child. They thought a child was in that apartment, and they fired with reckless abandon. And over and over and over again, they say on these tapes, multiple gunshots. They thought somebody had an AR-15. They heard 8, 10, 15. They say it over and over again. One shot was fired at them. One. From a handgun. It's been undeniable from the fucking beginning. I can't believe this shit. And then a state representative for weeks has felony riot charges hanging over her head. Goddamn is right. But now I want to show. Hey, Smokey, you're in front of my cat was in front of my monitor. I couldn't see what we were doing. So, what you're going to see is an incredibly chaotic scene.
By the time SWAT officers arrived on scene, it was clear things had gone horribly wrong.
Get up there, locate.
What the? We just got the feeling that night that,
I can't believe we haven't seen more damage in Louisville. I can't believe the riots have been as restrained as they are, given how egregious this is. An absolute miscarriage of justice. And that's how I know stupid-ass right-wingers, ones that want to claim they're for small government, if you're not pissed off about this, you're not on the side of America and on the side of the Constitution. I'm sorry. This is absolutely egregious all the way around.
Something really bad happened.
He said there's a female. He's saying 9mm. He said she was shooting. She's down. He said she's down in there. We have
down like a
Mel said she's dead. She's down, but we weren't rushing in there to check.
Okay. We want everybody to be safe.
And then the SWAT team, when they came in, they just barreled in. They created all kinds of fucking damage. All I'm thinking while I'm watching all of this is, these are innocent people. There wasn't even a crime. The crime they were accused of is fucking nothing. But there wasn't even the crime they were accused of. Completely innocent people treated like this. And all the neighbors around them. This entire complex should sue the city. I can't believe it hasn't burnt yet. I can't fucking believe it. But I mean, I've got to wonder. I've heard so many stories. And this same group of cops that busted in to Breonna Taylor's apartment, they did it to an innocent family like 2 years ago. They busted into the wrong apartment. I had the video, but like we so much shit's going on. It's hard to cover everything. So the only conclusion I can come to is that the city is just incredibly corrupt and that they are fascists that just want to protect at all costs. That's why they boarded up the city. They knew what was going to happen. That's why they charge a state representative with a draconian charge to try to shut her up.
Right, that's our ultimate goal. Is we don't want us to get hurt, innocent people, and even the bad guys. I mean, if no one's got to die, they don't have to die. Like that's, as we debriefed and looked over, it was just.
Nobody got to die. They don't have to die. What are you talking about, you motherfucker? Of course, obliterating the city isn't the answer. I fucking love Louisville. I'm from Kentucky. I have been down on the riverside taking pictures on those cobblestone streets. It's beautiful. I absolutely love that city.
An egregious act.
Lieutenant Dale Massey, the commanding SWAT officer on scene, found a loosely controlled group of officers and didn't exactly hide his disdain. I
tell all the patrol officers, check your rifles up, because they're still literally just pointing, and they don't know what they're pointing at, more or less. I mean, the target identification, there's nothing to point at because there's curtains and everything.
Thank God this guy's smart. Holy shit. How did those other dumb fucks get in the position they're in?
I guess we're just pointing a gun, just point a gun.
Yeah, everybody check up! Check up! Check up! Check up! Check up!
Check up on what? This is a residential area. These motherfuckers would have shot at anything. And this isn't like this is some fucking rundown neighborhood. Those are nice fucking apartments that they shot up. God damn, I'm sure there were children. All kinds of innocent people they could have hurt. Reckless. That entire unit needs to be punished. The cops that actually fired the shots, the 3 cops that fired, they all need to be charged. That unit needs to be punished somehow. Probably all of them need to lose their fucking jobs. That's justice. The police need to be disbanded. Rehire everybody. I think it was Camden, New Jersey. They fired their entire police force, rehired everybody, retrained them. It was a roaring success so far.
I got it. I'll plate it. Plate me here.
As I'm looking through that sliding glass window, our initial thought is, oh, they're shooting out the window at the police.
Those are my rounds.
See, he's looking at the scene like, okay, they were shooting at the police. No, that's the police shooting at what? He couldn't even fathom the fact that the police would have done that. Oh, I'm sure Mitch McConnell's going to fix it. You are exactly right. Justice would be a firing squad for those 3 fucking cops. Because another thing that pisses me off is them taking, and you can, in this documentary, you can go back and you can see Kenneth Walker get taken into custody. That motherfucker is scared as shit. He doesn't know it's a completely innocent man. He just watched his girlfriend die, and they're treating him like he's the biggest thug that ever lived. They've got dogs they're trying to sick on him. They're making him walk backwards, threatening his life. They're telling him he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. This man was just woke out of his fucking bed by you dumb fucks. Disgusted. But absolutely go give that Vice documentary a watch. By the way, has anybody checked in? Has Trump died yet? Because we are still on
Trump dies of COVID watch.
Somebody let me know. If he does pass away, I want to be on top of it. Now, I believe this happened in Texas. This shit goes on so much. I'm not even familiar with the story. The cop has been charged in this case, but I wasn't exactly familiar with it, so let's watch the local news report on it.
In this town of 1,500, all eyes are on this gas station following a shooting Saturday night. An eyewitness said around 8:30, a couple got in an argument inside the store, and 31-year-old Jonathan Price stepped in to break it up. Eventually, they took it outside, and someone called the police.
We were out at one of the stores.
Don't tip me, I will.
And Kyla Sanders heard the commotion.
3 gunshots went off, and I turned and looked at them, and I said, a cop just shot somebody.
After his arrival, a Wolf City officer shot and killed Jonathan. Wolf City PD has only said that the officer is now on paid administrative leave. The Texas Rangers tell us they are investigating.
I got around and I started yelling, Jonathan, Jonathan, breathe, breathe.
Clarissa Brown arrived minutes after the shooting.
And as he was laying there lifeless, T is no witness, lifeless, the officer had already left this crime scene.
The gas station has cameras, but they aren't releasing video. They say they'll put out a statement Monday.
It's a shock to our community.
It's a small town, a place where the gas station...
Whoa. That is not the gas stations. It's not up to them. Was this not investigated as a murder by the police? Did they not confiscate the cameras as evidence? What the fuck?
The police and fire department are all within a city block.
We don't need this in Wolf City.
And now, 24 hours after this officer-involved shooting, family and friends are trying to figure out why this young man is dead.
Honestly, the nicest, kindest guy you could ever meet.
And police have said very little.
We just want justice. It's it.
Of course.
Wolf City. I'm Alex Rozier.
Of course the police have said very little. And that was another thing about the Breonna Taylor case. They all went to the hospital together to visit the one that got shot in the leg. Plenty of time to get your stories straight. So this is the motherfucker that shot Jonathan Price that we just watched the footage of. A community leader and a mentor. And this motherfucker right here just shot him for seemingly no reason. We can't really piece together what happened now, can we? But it would seem that Price was there trying to break up an argument. That he was trying to be a good Samaritan. He intervened. Resisted in a non-threatening posture. And how can you resist? If you're an innocent person, you can't resist. Resisted in a non-threatening posture and began walking away? What the fuck kind of statement is that? Resisted in a non-threatening posture. And he just got shot? Oh, he tasered him. Wait a minute. Didn't the video just say that she heard 3 shots and they shot? What? We just watched. She said 3 shots, right? I'm not high. Somebody verify this for me. The witness to the crime said she heard 3 shots. But according to this, or according to the police, Officer Lucas deployed his taser. Oh, discharging his service weapon. Okay. Shoo. Flipping me out. For somebody that was just walking away, that wasn't a suspect in anything. I don't know. I don't really have any commentary for that. Let's hope justice is served, but, you know, it won't be. Because the cops in the system protects each other. Now, this is one that I saw today. I lost everybody. Did my stream go off? Maybe I just suck. I'm sorry. My apologies for putting on a bad show. So I didn't get to read this whole story, but a white male professor allegedly posed as a woman of color to bully women. The science film claimed to be a female academic, claimed to have upended efforts by her social justice obsessed department. Of course this motherfucker would be saying that kind of shit. A chemistry professor. He didn't even look like if you're gonna be a chemistry professor, at least like be a cool chemistry professor and fucking make me some acid, motherfuckers. I would say that the fact that he deleted his account and the supposed fake account is a pretty good indication that it is indeed the same person and that he is guilty of it. They put on this huge long thread about how they, as a woman of color in science, a professor, made a big change in their university by shutting down diversity, equity, and inclusion work. Because that sounds like a positive change. Woke statement on social media. Of course, viral threads on publications like Red State. And there is so much bullshit circulating in right-wing circles. It is very easy to take advantage of them. Speaking of which, Facebook might be trying to crack down on that a little bit. Possibly too little too late. Because they announced today that they are going to be banning QAnon groups and pages. Starting today, we'll remove Facebook pages, groups, and Instagram accounts for representing QAnon. Well, I will tell you, I have added a whole bunch of QAnon followers on my pages, and they are rabid, and we're actually going. I have a few things I've yanked from some QAnon followers. That's how we're going to end the show tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll end with a few Donald Trump commercials again. We've been doing that. But I'm going to show you some of the shit that you will find on the QAnon Facebook groups. Shit, you just wait. A spokesman for the company said they believed it needed to limit the ability of QAnon and militarized social movements to operate and organize on our platform. Well, duh. I've had friends talking about this. Producer Dave from Echoplex Media. He's been on this for years now. But it's profitable to Facebook. They spend a lot of money on this right-wing propaganda. There are so many sites that amplify stupid messages. And it's just to create division. We've even seen it on my stream last night several times. Several times people have popped in and talked about like the Jewish problem or the Jewish question and shit on my stream. It's like, what? What the fuck? Where did you fucking Nazis come from? Well, Producer Dave pointed out to me, those are more than likely bots. They're just troll farms that are meant to go out and disseminate these messages just to get people riled up and arguing with each other. And that's why they keep calling themselves the silent majority. They think there's so many of them, but it's actually just a message that's been over amplified through these astroturfed organizations. They are not the silent majority. They are a very, very, very slim part of our population. Free speech has nothing to do with Facebook and their platform. I mean, I've got nothing against Facebook banning them. Seriously, I wish they would just shut the fuck up. But I mean, it's not like I'm out there advocating for them not to be able to talk. I friended a bunch of them. I share out their fucking messages all the time, making fun of them. But I mean, well, what it comes down to is, at some point, there's just such a deluge of bullshit, and it becomes impossible to wade through it. And then what you run into is you get this like cynicism to the system, and this apathetic attitude and cynicism that we've seen through like a Gen X and everything. That's one of the reasons why our systems have failed us, because people have checked out. They're like, oh shit, I don't want anything to do with this shit. So there's a concept in broadcasting called gatekeeping. Now, you would think that I would be completely against the idea of gatekeeping. Obviously I am, because 20 years in the broadcasting business, I've had to resort to doing a radio show on Twitch and YouTube and shit. My stance on personal tactical nukes. It's an odd question. I'm for arming the proletariat. I don't know that I'm for nuclear armament. I am for arming the proletariat. Well, I mean, you say that, but I mean, in a capitalist society, there's going to be some form of gatekeeping. Facebook doesn't owe you a right to speak on their platform, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Hey, I like a free-for-all myself. The problem that we run into is voices like mine are not being amplified, and then there's a hell of a lot of rich motherfucking right-wingers that want to pay people like Ben Shapiro and Dave Rubin to say just absolute goddamn nonsense. No, libertarians are the dumbest fucks walking the planet. Oh, you're thinking about the flag. The flag actually says right-wingers are morons. And the snake has a dunce hat on and looks like a retard. I would be happy to explain to you why libertarian philosophy is absolutely goddamn stupid. It doesn't take that much. Snake! Ask what dumb question? There are no dumb questions. Oh, and tactical nukes. Oh, okay. And then me responding, arm the proletariat. I'm sure that libertarian wouldn't have that response. But my hesitation to answering that question would be, okay, what if I'm threatened by a fascist country that has nukes, and we're over here, I have my commune. I would assume my commune has the right to have tactical nukes to protect itself. You know, you have to meet force with force. I'm not some fucking pussy about things. So, my overall, no, I'm for nuclear disarmament. However, if the fascists had nukes, we need nukes too, I guess. Okay, so I would argue that the Second Amendment is actually void because we're supposed to not have a standing army, and we have one of those now. That's the logic for having the Second Amendment was because, you know, we didn't have a standing army. We have a standing army. Feel like that kind of voids the amendment. I wish I had a commune. If I had a commune and the fascists had nukes, I would feel that my commune also needs to have nukes. But I mean, we all know what happens when you get into this race in these pissing contests. You end up as Big Boss on Outer Heaven. I would love to have a commune. I'm going to start a commune. Hopefully my Discord chat will turn into a little commune. Alright, let's talk about some of the bullshit that you find going through QAnon posts on Facebook. As I said, I added a bunch of QAnon followers to my friends list, and I've been going through their posts. And I saw a meme today that said that there was a 15-year-old that made so much money on Pornhub and was featured in like 57 videos, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I go to search, like, 15-year-old Pornhub, and I'm like, wait a minute. I better not do that. So I had to find a roundabout way to try to search what they were talking about. Now, I'm behind a VPN and shit. I'm going to have to check out that 60 Minutes piece. So I had to figure out a way to type in a phrase into Google so I could actually kind of figure out what the fuck they were talking about. And it turns out they're talking about this trafficking hub campaign, which is backed by a bunch of evangelical organizations, which are probably actually trafficking children. My total belief is that churches are organized pedophile rings, and the reason why they have these campaigns against human trafficking is because they're tired of people, like, fucking messing with their business. And it's good subterfuge. But I saw that meme multiple times in the QAnon circles today. With, of course, you know, the where we would go one, we go all, save the children, all the same bullshit. I don't think that the story about the 15-year-old was true. But also, the story about the 15-year-old was that she made her own money. The only problem was that she was 15. I'm pretty sure the dude that started 4chan, and I'm pretty sure the dude that is Q is indeed a pedo. I'm definitely gonna. I'll check out this Dustin Nemos. I've never heard of this guy before, but I am very happy that you're telling me that 60 Minutes covered that, though. Maybe there is some hope. Now, this is one I was actually able to, deal with their subject matter.
You have this scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit where
I found this little video here about subliminal messages in Disney movies.
You have this scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit where it's revealed that Jessica Rabbit isn't wearing underwear. Then you have this subtle scene in Aladdin.
I don't know that was revealed. Man, do you know about Chris Hansen? Or Chris Hansen? Chris Hansen, right? Hansen, not Hansen. But, that's not what Jessica Rabbit... she's just a fucking computer model. God damn. Now, this one was absurd.
Aladdin, where if you listen closely, Aladdin whispers, "Take off your clothes."
Leave me alone.
Down, Kate. So how's our little bow doing? Come on, good. Kate. Take off. Down, Kate.
Wait.
All right, did you catch it? It's very...
You may be right about that. I might be mixing up my Chan guys. It might have been the guy from 8chan.
low. I'll raise it a little bit.
Leave me alone.
Down, Kate. So how's our little bow doing? Come on, good. Kate. Take off.
Did you catch it? Again, it's very low. And that's really the goal of...
No, I didn't catch it because it's not there. You're fucking crazy, you dumb motherfucker.
Subliminal messaging, something just high enough for your subconscious to internalize, but so low or quick that you don't really realize you have. Now, later in the movie...
Now, my buddy producer Dave, he brought up that this is like... Because I compared it to McCarthyism. And he said, no, it's more like the satanic panic of the 80s with the evangelicals. And I'm like, there are several parallels, and this video made me think of that. Well, with the playing the records backwards and shit. That was all bullshit too. Now, one of the things about Disney movies that I will go into is I'm sure some of the animators like the fact that they hid, there might have been a penis in one of the drawings. I'm sure. We've been hiding penises in art since we've been making art as a species. So I'm sure some Disney animator absolutely hid a penis in something he did and laughed about it. I do shit like that all the time, hide things in my art. Especially when I was working in terrestrial radio and television. If I could get away with shit like that, I absolutely would. There were things I put in the graphics sometimes just to see what I can get away with. That's just an asshole. It's just me as a production guy being an asshole. There's not some fucking grand conspiracy to try to fucking teach people to be pedos. What the fuck? You're exactly right. Normal people don't even think about this shit. This shit would have never crossed my mind if I hadn't have came across it. Exactly. Cognitive dissonance. That is exactly what you're describing.
When Jafar has Jasmine captured, the cracks on the wall spell out the word sex. Just like Rapunzel's hair on this tank.
Did you see that? That does not spell sex. What? But there's this whole cottage industry. These people make money. This motherfucker doing this video is making more money than I fucking ever have doing any kind of streaming. Sex in the Light. It's Aladdin, isn't it? That's
sex. Just like Rapunzel's hair on this Tangled advertisement. Just like what's spelled out on the ice of this Cinderella book. Just like what the dust spells out.
That was just random lines. Look at that. That's just fucking random lines.
The ice of this Cinderella book, just like what the dust spells out here in The Lion King. Then, for
now, could there be animators, like I said, that snuck some shit in? Possibly, but it's just people like me being assholes. But I didn't like. Why would you spell out sex? If I was going to, I know this poster. Holy fuck! As if this isn't clearly a lion's nose. Hey, I'd tap it. This is the dumbest fucking shit.
For The Lion King's 2002 re-release, Disney snuck a half-naked woman onto the cover. In Beauty and the Beast, if you pause it at this moment, you'll observe one of Disney's favorite things to accidentally sneak into one of their films, a phallic symbol.
And now the thing about phallic symbols is everything's a goddamn phallic symbol. The Washington Monument is a phallic symbol. I live in a city surrounded by goddamn rockets. All rockets are phallic symbols. Everything's a fucking phallic symbol. There are so many phallic symbols in all of our art throughout time. So I don't know if this is actually Disney being like, hey, I want to put a penis, like one of the animators saying, hey, I want to put a penis in here, or it's just some fucking homage to actual art and it happens to look like a penis. Timothy Charles Holmeseth. That sounds like a school shooter name. Absolutely. Timothy Charles Holmeseth. Timmy. Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. Pentagon Pedophile Task Force? Man, you're sending me down a rabbit hole now. I will look into this guy. He gonna get the troll.
Just like what was found on the VHS cover of The Little Mermaid, or what was found towards the end of The Little Mermaid, where this priest appears to have an erection. Now, in this case,
now that one, I would definitely chalk that up to some fucking animator being like, hey, he's got a hard on. Live streams, living in his car. He's still probably making more money on fucking streaming than I ever have. Yeah, I thought the FBI did that job too. Is that the name of his show? The Pentagon Pedophile Task Force? It's a great acronym.
Disney was pressured to eventually correct both for the newer releases. Unlike this Euro Disney cover art where Minnie Mouse's entire body is a phallic symbol.
I don't even know what that is. What? Oh, that's supposed to be her dress. Oh, okay, I see. That's just, oh, I see it now. Yeah, it does look like a penis. All this guy sees is dicks. You're exactly right. Because now that I see the dress, I totally, like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Or in Hercules, where the river guardian gets hit in the head with horseshoes and his 3 bumps, 2 small and 1 long, form, you guessed it,
a fucking knot on his head that they then did horseshoes around? Like, how is that? Come on, dude. Come on. I bet he is. There's a lot of that on the right. I mean, there's some of it on the left too. All right, enough of this chuckle fuck. Let's check out. This is another one I found. Reporter asks if Trump would pardon Obama. What she says is a mic drop. Now, I watched part of this video, and she didn't even talk about Obama yet. It's a 4.5 minute video. I probably watched a minute and a half of it, and she did not mention Obama whatsoever. But it's going to be a mic drop.
And finally, before getting started, I wanted to note that the president, as you all are well aware, donates his salary to various initiatives and parts across the federal government. And this quarter, he will be donating his salary to HHS, Health and Human Services, to develop new therapies for treating.
But now, they got a good grift. This guy does videos like this, so he gets played on left-wing sites, amplifies his message. I totally think Ben Shapiro knows exactly what he's doing. Making videos of him watching WAP? Holy shit. He knew lefties would make fun of him.
And preventing COVID-19 so that we can safely reopen. Here's the check, amounted to $100,000 that will go directly from President Trump and his paycheck that he does not take, but rather donates it to various noble initiatives, including in honor of COVID this time, and those who have passed and the studies underway. He'll be donating it.
I want you to notice very purposefully, this video was about, will he pardon Obama? First of all, implying that Obama is going to be charged with something. These people want to believe this shit. They want to believe incredibly bad that Obama is going to jail. So they snuck in this, because why put this little clip about him donating his salary? That's smart propaganda. I'd never think to do something like that. I'm editing a video. I'm like, well, this shit has nothing to do with the title I gave the video. I'm going to cut all that out. But no, keep people on the edge of their seat. They want to hear about Obama getting pardoned. Will Trump pardon Obama? What the fuck has Obama been charged with? For the love of God, if there is justice in the world, Trump will end up in jail. There is no justice in the world, so I don't have hope that happens. Just like we went over the Breonna Taylor case earlier. That city is bound and determined to protect those cops. The stripper who went to NYC screaming she's the coronavirus? No! I'm going to look that up. I hope there's video. That sounds like something I'd play on my show. I don't know so much it's a bait and switch. It's just false advertising. It's just putting that there's so much rhetoric in that one fucking sentence. It absolutely will be for tax fraud. Oh, we are on the lookout just in case Trump does die from COVID.
Trump dies of COVID watch.
We are keeping the lookout. Please let me know if there are any developments in the
Trump dies of COVID watch.
I absolutely will Google that. All right, let's see if we can get to the Obama part.
To HHS. And with that, I will take questions from you all. Yeah.
You guys are smart. I don't have to point out that him donating his salary is just an absolute PR stunt. He's fucking siphoning so much taxpayer money from us.
Does the president reference? Does the White House now support these churches that are defying governor's orders and open?
I don't. What is stopping a stripper from doing their job? Fucking get you My Free Cams or an OnlyFans or something. Do your job. Innovate. Matter of fact, I DJ'd in a strip club for a while, and there was a girl, and she was a bigger girl, but she was absolutely fucking beautiful. And I felt so sorry for her because everybody that, she had a couple people that would tip her well when they were there, but she's a specific taste. And I'm like, would you please, and this was back in like 2011, 2012, I'm like, please do webcams. You will make so much more money because fucking gorgeous. Just fucking, you're going to be able to find your niche so much easier on the internet. But once again, we talked about gatekeeping earlier. I'm not for gatekeeping, but in the situation that we're in, Facebook, Twitter, you don't have a right to be on their platforms. They are gatekeepers. I don't know. I would be happy to see him die of COVID. I would love to see him lose. I'd love to see him lose. So, I got so much pleasure out of Hillary Clinton and her glass ceiling fucking losing. Now, I laughed my ass off at the absurdity of what we were facing. Breed Creed and I are going to go over the 2016 election the weekend before Election Day this year. We're going to relive those moments. I'm not a Hillary fan at all. I enjoyed watching her lose. I would enjoy watching Trump lose even more. Oh my God. I don't know which I would find more satisfying, because like him dying of the disease that was completely and totally preventable, that he didn't have to die from, that would be sweet. Why? I don't think he would take losing very well. I also, the thing about the loss is, I still don't know. There's the nightmare scenario that he may be ahead on election night and throws a gazillion legal challenges, and the fucking courts rule in his favor because Mitch McConnell has packed the courts. So I don't know that I even want to chance that. So maybe I want to stick with the COVID, you know?
Trump dies of COVID watch.
He probably would die from losing. You are absolutely right. I don't think he's BSing. I don't think he's BSing at all. The way the news all happened makes it seem like he's not BSing. I don't think he would have checked into the hospital for 3 nights unless he had it. He probably will squat in the White House. If he's smart, if he was smart, he's negotiating his fucking exit. That he can go to North Korea or Russia and live the rest of his fucking life in peace. If he's a smart man, I don't think he is. I think he's a delusional, absolute asshole. I'm here for it. I would love to watch them drag him out of there. He probably will die of COVID and deprive us all of that just sweet. That's the way life is. I'm just here for the ride. I'm going to quit making predictions. Other than Trump getting COVID, that was the easiest prediction to make. I said it for several shows before it actually happened. I'm just here to watch the shit show.
Trump dies of COVID watch.
It might kill him if he loses the election, though. Okay, but he's the commander-in-chief and it's a military hospital. He can order people to do shit. He can order them to let him out. Now, that is sweet, sweet irony. I don't think it'll be the National Guard, though. It might be because it's a federal jurisdiction. But I would think it's the Secret Service who would be tasked with removing him. I would assume.
The president's been very clear. He wants churches to reopen. He wants them to do it safely. He wants them to do it in accordance with our guidance. It's laid out very detailed. It's posted now.
Once again, this was a video titled, "Will Trump Pardon Obama?"
You can all take a look through it, and he wants to see all of those churches open in a safe fashion.
The governor does not allow that. Does the White House support churches defying these executive orders?
The president's been very clear. He wants to see churches reopen in accordance with his guidelines.
So the answer is yes?
I gave you an answer. The president would like churches to reopen and do it in accordance with the guidelines.
What specific provision of federal law allows the president to override a governor's
The president will
decision?
And I don't understand. Okay, churches. What about church? Why can't you have virtual services? What's the difference? I don't understand what the impediment. And you would think churches, which are full of elderly people. Now that, I would love that. Oh man, we need a good old-fashioned raise the boards. Seriously, I would love to put on the combat boots and march to Washington. If you guys are down, I'm down. Let's do it. You just tell me when. I got friends too. My friend Sparkles, oh my God. If I call her and say, hey, get your combat boots and your Molotov, she's with me. We'll go. She's been talking about it for years. She didn't want to vote in the 2018 election. She just wanted to go fucking Molotov some shit. Because I would, if I had to guess, using PayPal, Venmo, and shit, like teaching older people to use digital means of currency is difficult, and older people don't trust it. So I'm assuming that churches aren't making as much money virtually. That would be my guess, and that's why they're pushing to open. Because they want those dollars in the collection plates. I'm down. Let's organize it. Let's make it happen.
Strongly encourage every governor to allow their churches to reopen, and boy, it's interesting.
You know, let's get Halloween out of the way. We get the election out of the way. Then how about the 5th of November? Seems like a apropos date to do something like that. I'm lucky that the people that I have to deal with in my commerce off the air, even if they are on the older side, seem to be pretty tech savvy. Because I've been working virtually for years now. It wasn't new to me. Everybody joined my life when the pandemic happened. Like, seriously, the pandemic really didn't affect me very much at all. Other than I couldn't get toilet paper for a while, and I was laughing because I buy by the bulk anyway, so I had like fucking 28 rolls or whatever the big giant pack of toilet paper was I just bought when all the fucking quarantine happened. But then we're like a month and a half, 2 months into it, and I went through all my toilet paper, and I'm like, I still can't get goddamn toilet paper. That's the way my life has changed. Still, what does this have to do with Obama and pardoning anybody? Ooh. I don't know how that feels, but I can imagine. Because, like, just taking my clothes off after I get off this show and putting my bathrobe on. So if I had something binding me up here, oh my God, I can't imagine what that... My heart goes out to... Why do you people even... Stop wearing them? I know, like... A whole host of reasons why you have to wear a bra. Fucking society.
To be in a room that desperately wants to seem to see these churches and houses of worship stay closed.
The president.
I'd like to switch gears, asking about President Obama. We had a...
Finally, I said we were like a minute and a half into it when I watched it earlier and like had not mentioned Obama at all. Now, I'm assuming this woman is from OAN or one of those really, really fringe, right? Because she wasn't down here in the actual press pool. It also looks like she doesn't have a mask on. So I'm going to assume it's like an OAN, really far right-wing organization she's with. Because they ask these really insane questions. And it's for fodder like this on the internet. And that's why these people have no business being taken seriously by like the press pool.
Does the president... We had an interesting article from Joel Pollak this morning, and I would like to ask you if the president has considered pardoning President Obama for illegally wiretapping on towers, illegally spying on U.S. citizens, and other potential crimes.
That never happened. What she's saying never fucking had. She came from, like, I'm going to guess OAN.
Potential crimes out there. Has he considered that?
So I have not spoken to the president about that, but who I did speak to about President Obama and unmasking Michael Flynn were the men and women in this room. I haven't spoken to him on that specific point, have spoken to him about the matter generally, and I laid out a series of questions that any good journalist would want to answer about why people were unmasked, and all sorts of questions. And I just wanted to follow up with you guys on that. Did anyone take it upon themselves to pose any questions about Michael Flynn and unmasking the President Obama spokesperson?
And that's what I'm sad about, the whole pandemic thing, pushing all our court cases back. The Michael Flynn case was going to be insane. And that's all kind of been put on hold. I watched some Scientology TV with my buddy Dave, producer Dave from Echoplex Media. He and I watched it. I was amazed by Scientology TV. Holy shit.
Oh, not a single journalist has posed that question. Okay.
Flynn's name wasn't
So
Matt,
I would like
Kelly.
to lay out a...
Yeah. Listen to the real journalist who's like, dude, we didn't ask that question because that's a dumbass fucking question. Oh, I wonder too, like, is he that fucking dumb? Does he believe that shit? Or is it just politically expedient for him? And is it expedient for his trial? Hell yeah. I love my people over there at Echoplex Media. Do check them out. I was on Operation Catterday the other night and we had a blast.
A series of questions, and perhaps if I write them out in a slide format, maybe we're visual learners and you guys will follow up with journalistic curiosity. So number one, why did the Obama administration use opposition research funded by a political organization and filled with foreign dirt to surveil members of the Trump campaign?
They didn't. That didn't happen. That would be what you would call a loaded question in logic. Alright, I'm done with this. She's full of shit. Let's do last thing for the night here. We've been watching old commercials that feature Donald Trump. We're up into the 90s now, so we might even be getting into the 2000s. Did a lot of Pizza Hut commercials.
What is Philo?
I'm sorry, what?
I have no clue. What the fuck is Philo?
Very, very powerful.
Oh yeah, I made the declaration last night that Grimace would have been a better president than Donald Trump, and I stick by that.
I don't know how you do it. I put together some really impressive deals, but this thing you've pulled off, it's amazing. A big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret?
Got a buck? You're in luck. Because you can get a delicious beefy big and tasty, a McChicken sandwich, and lots of your other favorites on McDonald's Dollar Menu every day.
Together, Grimace, we could own this town.
I don't even remember. I know what phyllo dough is. I like those the Greek things with the spinach. I forget what they're called. The spinach and the feta and everything.
1,000 reasons. I love this game because I love to hear that sweet string music. I love this game because when I'm around sweaty men, I smell better. I love this game because when my jumper's on.
Hamburglar would have made a better president. You are correct. I stand by that too.
It's on. I love this game because you can't.
What does this have to do with Trump? Where's he at?
I love this game, and if you don't, you're fired.
I guess we're into the 2000s now, because that would have been.
Hi, I'm Doug.
That would have been after The Apprentice, I would assume.
Donald Trump to talk to you about the remarkable convenience of the Visa check card.
Everyone knows the Visa check card's directly connected to the money in your checking account. Oops. But if your card's lost or stolen, did you know you're not liable for fraudulent purchases?
Got it.
And you'll get every single cent of that money back. Guess not. Visa is everywhere you want to be.
And I thought he was doing so well.
Only one drama can make 18.
No, man, here's how we ended up with Trump. And somebody else said it. There are people that made a bet that fascism would be better for them than an inclusive society. That we have an entrenched system of white supremacy, and people think that that system benefits them better than one that was inclusive and democratic. That's all it is. White people scared. That's all it comes down to.
Nice people become
Vicious, vindictive, cutthroat, evil.
Who loves The Apprentice?
This Thursday.
Was that all adjectives referring to Donald Trump? Vicious, vindictive.
It returns.
Boom, boom, boom!
The pressure.
It was just nuttiness.
The backstabbing.
What a bunch of morons.
The phenomenon.
I'll make an executive decision.
He wanted us to wear short skirts and halter tops.
It's not a game. It's a career.
You're fired.
All New Apprentice premieres NBC Thursday. Meet the candidates at NBC.com.
I'm back.
He's back.
I read that somewhere. Well, Gwen Stefani actually has talent, though. Well, it's also been speculated that the correspondence dinner where Obama made fun of him was where he decided he was going to run for president. All right, I'm out of a beverage, and I have cotton mouth like a motherfucker. Tomorrow night, we're going to be live streaming the VP debate. It is going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see a strong black woman emasculate goddamn Pence. Ooh, I'm stoked for it. I hope you join me. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that shit. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol. Live.